What's going on, everybody? John Stamper. I'm here in San Antonio live. It is Dr. Scott Luna's Business Masters seminar, and we're in day one. And as promised, I wanted to make sure that I spent time with all of the great companies that are here. Everybody is back in session, so wanted to spend some time with Breanna McMillen, who is from Peerlogic. How you doing, Breanna?
I'm doing good.
Did I get the name right?
You
There's
got
a
it
lot
right.
of syllables there, and I talk fast.
Right. You just call me,
so I always,
call me Bree for short.
Okay,
it's
Bree's good. Okay.
Simple.
Whew, that's awesome. All right. So we are very excited to have you here. This is Peerlogic's first Business Masters.
Yeah.
And like right off the bat, on the break, we know there was doctors and their teams coming over and asking about Peerlogic. So this is a great opportunity for everybody that's watching for you to let them know Peerlogic, how you're helping dental practices, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so Peerlogic, we're a conversational AI insights company. What we do is we analyze all of the inbound, outbound calls that come into practices, provide those insights to the doctors so they know how their marketing campaigns are performing, how their teams are performing, and then we have actionable insights. So with the missed call volumes being so high in the practices, we provide alerts that help with missed calls. The AI uses algorithm to determine what type of missed call it is, so they can determine, is this a missed new patient call, or is it a salesperson calling that we don't need to waste our time calling them back. And then other insights to provide messages to patients to be able to contact the office easier whenever they can't get a hold of somebody on the phone.
Right. And you and I were kind of laughing because I was going to start this by saying AI, the buzzword.
Yeah.
You hear it all the time.
I know.
And the reality is I feel like we're at this stage where more and more people are understanding AI, or they're at least paying attention to it. Now it comes down to application. And I know that's what you all do, is you're utilizing the technology as a tool, but let's help the practice get things done. Like, let's use what AI is telling you to move them forward.
Right, exactly. Information is great, and we need that information so we know what's going on with the practice, but we also need to be able to provide actionable, things so that the staff can actually perform some action with it. We don't just have the data sitting there. We have the data, we're informed, we know what's going on, but we can also, bring more revenue into the practice because of what we're being able to provide with the AI.
So on the first couple breaks, the doctors and their team came up. What are some of the questions they ask you?
I think the biggest one is, is the AI listening to all the calls? Do we have to tell our patients that the AI is listening? How much easier is this going to help my staff? Like, how much easier their job's going to be with this? Yeah. And how much more new patients can we see? That's usually the biggest question.
Do you find, because I see a lot of polls out there with AI and, it's like, concerned about jobs and all that stuff, right? It's kind of like the things that, but what do you find with the practices that you work with and your customers where they are getting excited about it, right? Like, I mean, is there like a journey where like they're like they don't understand it? Like, talk a little bit about that customer journey when they start using Peerlogic.
Yeah, I don't think it's that they don't understand it. I think, kind of like you say, AI, everybody's worried, is this going to replace my job?
Sure.
But in a dental practice, the front office staff, they balance so many different jobs
Yeah.
out there. They're doing 5,000 things all at once. So with Peerlogic, as soon as they see it and they see like how much is going to be taken off their plate and how much easier it's going to make their job, it's a super easy transition. They have all those missed calls sitting there that they can't get to. So with Peerlogic, we're helping them reach that patient base that otherwise they wouldn't be able to touch.
Yeah, and I'm sure in a lot of ways you think about the patients now feeling like they are going to get through, because let's call it like it is. In today's world, I mean, there's maybe 60 different dental practices just here.
Right.
And when I think about practices all over the country and people building practices, if you call a practice and you can't get in, we're conditioned now, I think, as consumers, we're going to go right to the next and right to the next.
That's right.
So I feel like the stakes are a lot higher when you miss those calls now.
Exactly. Yeah. So, if a missed call comes through and that patient doesn't get a hold of somebody, you're right. They're going to hit Google. They're going to call the next practice. But if you have Peerlogic reaching out, sending them a message saying, we'll be with you shortly, or here's a link, go ahead and schedule your appointment, you're that much more likely to capture that patient and keep that patient at the practice.
So before we got started, you were telling me that you were the very first employee at Peerlogic, which is awesome. I think that's really neat. What's been fun for you to watch this company and the trajectory and all the things that are a startup and the tough things that you have to go to? And in the same regards, I know you go to all the dental meetings and things like that. So you're they're asking you questions. You want to feel comfortable about it. What's that journey been like for you?
Oh my God, it's been absolutely incredible. So I actually came from a clinical background before I came over to Peerlogic. So when I heard about Peerlogic and what it did, I was like, this is no brainer. I want to work for this company.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But to start in the beginning when nobody knew who we were, and like to be at a conference and people are like, who is Peerlogic?
Right.
To where we are now, where everybody's like, oh, hey, it's Peerlogic. You
Yeah.
guys need to go meet Peerlogic, talk to Peerlogic. And then just to see the technology from where it started to where we are now and all the features, it's been absolutely incredible.
So that's a great segue. I had the opportunity to speak with Chris from your team, Senior Vice President, and I like to ask him what's next. I think what a lot of people hopefully are going to realize with AI is that as these models get better and they get more information in them, you're going to be able to do more and more things to help the practice. So talk about what you're excited about for the future.
I think with, like you say, AI, it's only going to continue to get better. And the best part about our AI is the more it hears, the more it learns, the more accurate it gets, and the more they can do with it. So just seeing like where that AI can take all the information it's given and the more information that we're going to continue to be able to give to the practice, so the more actionable insights that they're going to be able to have based off of that information, it's just going to continue to get better and better.
So what has it been like for you? I know we're just on day one and it's the morning, but you've been sitting in there listening to Dr. Luna. Like, what's it like with your background? Just some of the things you're hearing him share.
Oh my goodness! So I was actually speaking with Lauren, who's here with me, and that's why I was telling her this is probably one of the better conferences that I've sat and been able to really take on that information. It is, the insights he's giving these doctors is absolutely incredible, and you can tell they're going to have a lot of takeaways when they're done here.
I've been there as a sponsor at meetings, and I was blown away the first couple times that we started to have the companies in the room. How like I went in there and every rep from every company was still like sitting there like listening to Scott, which I thought was really interesting, and I like that, and I know he appreciates that, and I know that part of the reason of being here is these are companies that he's really excited about, and where he can feel like can make a difference in the people that he works with in their practices. So, Bree, could you let everybody know where they can learn more about Peerlogic, and then maybe what your process is to do demos? Like, how does that all work?
Yeah, definitely. All you have to do is visit peerlogic.com. You can, on the website, you can click set up a demo there and go ahead and get on the calendar, and it takes about 30 minutes. We'll walk you through the platform, tell you all the ins and outs of it.
Awesome. Well, Bree, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the seminar, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, guys.
All right, appreciate it.